and sisters of my heart. My name is Publio. I'm going to play and sing a couple of songs to help me, to help you, to help us to harmonize ourselves, to prepare for the Spiritism talk tonight. So the first song called Vibration, and goes like this. When life lends a hand, it's time to open up your heart. It is time to love one another. It's time to take part. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. When we give our heart in charity, our lives are transforming into songs. Our dreams become reality, and we join Jesus for eternity. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. When we give our heart in charity, our lives are transforming into songs. Our dreams become reality, and we join Jesus for eternity.
Say me name, wherever you are, glowing seeds of love, as our Master Jesus taught. You will see that behind every sight there's a flame shining bright, tiny spark created by God. I will follow your path, Father, 'cause nobody's alone in life, and the scars of my
day, another flower, another minute past the hour. Someday the sky is blue, and suddenly we can't see through. And every day is a fresh new start, when the sun turns off the moonlight. We get another chance to choose the route we want to cruise. And on the other side of the mountain, there's always a whole new route, the new beginning calling after every end. There are a million reasons to pick you up after every fall. It's always a win in the new round. On the other side of the mountain, there's always a whole new route, and the new beginning calling after every end. And there are a million reasons to pick you up after every fall. It's always a win in the new round. It's always a win in the new round. It's always a win in the new round. It's always a win in the new round.
When I go in to pray, I look for my good Jesus, and when I close my eyes, I can feel all His light. I open my heart for all He has to say. He shows me the best way I can enjoy my life. Jesus, Jesus, they never we apart. Please bring all your light to shine inside my heart. Jesus, Jesus, I can be content. I have your endless love and your protecting hand.
Now I'm gonna sing a song that really calmed me down. If I close my eyes to pray, I heard the sound of the sea far away. If I close my eyes to pray, Jesus cradles me, in His arms I sway. Body harmonizes how well done in the hay. Music lifts His spirits in sweet ballet. Nature's love, a constant giveaway. In lay. Nature's love, a constant giveaway. In joy, in peace, my heart find its way. If I close my eyes to pray, Jesus cradles me, in his arms I sway. If I close my eyes to pray, Jesus cradles me, in his arms I sway. And now I'm gonna sing a song, Good Old Man. It's about our protector, our mentor, Dr. Bezerra de Menezes. Blue crystal eyes, color of the sky, gray bushy beard, Santa's look alike. Shine on your brothers on there, suffering, living joy, or in pain. Blue crystal eyes, color of the sky, gray bushy beard, Santa's look alike. Shine on your brothers on earth, suffering, living joy, or in pain. Bezerra de Menezes, apostle of the good, receive our praise and also our heart. Bezerra de Menezes, apostle of the light, place our pain at the feet of Jesus Christ. Bezerra de Menezes, apostle of the good, receive our praise and also our heart. Bezerra de Menezes, apostle of the light, place our pain at the feet of Jesus Christ.
Hello, friends. How are you all doing? So, welcome to our Tuesday public talk. We hope you had a good day. If not, let's all forget about that, right? This is our time together. And today we're going to have another topic to think about. So, as always, starting with our announcements, if you can, really try to be free of any distractions during this time. So turn off your phone notifications, find a quiet place where you can, not be disturbed. And our meeting, as always, has like a more or less 30 minutes presentation, and then we follow that with questions and answers and with our spiritual care. So now is the time for you to get a container with potable water. So my water is right here already, so that you can set aside, that can be magnetized during our um, spiritual treatment. So this water, it's going to be magnetized, and you and your family can drink this water and benefit from it during the week. So we are here every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Central Time through our Spiritism Canada Facebook and YouTube, and the Concafres Continental Americas Facebook. And on Saturdays, our friends, our dear friends from Kardec Radio, hello, all friends, we love you. They retransmit this at 7 p.m. Central Time through Kardec Radio's Facebook and YouTube. So, if you like Spiritism or you are curious about Spiritism, we have the perfect course for you to get started. You know, that we call that course Get to Know Spiritism. So, it's a prime to Spiritism, many different interesting topics. It is a free online course that happens every Saturday, 5:15 Eastern Time, so 4:15 Central Time. So, did I say it's free? And it is online, so very easy for you to join us. So we started a new cohort, but you still have time to join us. So the registration will be in the chat. We also offer the gospel at home. So we offer you, if you would like to help you start and maintain the gospel at home. And the gospel at home is just a practice. It's just a habit that you create of every week at a set date and time to take maybe 15, 20 minutes, no more than 30 minutes, to along with your family or the people that you live with or by yourself, to read the gospel, reflect a little bit about that, and also to pray for you and your family and your home. So, the gospel at home has a lot of benefits. And if you are interested in starting it and maintaining it, we can help you with that. So, just let us know in the chat. We also have our vibration book. It's an online confidential prayer book. So you can add any names, your name, the name of friends or neighbors or anybody that you know that might need prayers. They can be incarnate and discarnate. And we have a group of volunteers that pray for all the names in that book. So if you would like to, the link is in our chat too. So go ahead and add as many names as you would like. Today, we are here to actually talk about compassion, right? So today we'll have one topic from the Gospel according to Spiritism. So we are on chapter 13. And the title of that chapter is Do Not Let Your Left Hand Know What Your Right Hand is Doing. And today, specifically, we're going to be talking about items 15 to 18. And that's going to be facilitated by our friend Rodrigo, and I'll call him very soon. But before I do that, I just want to remind everybody that we love the comments and the questions. So if you have any comments or questions, please let us know, just write them in the chat and we will look at them at the end of the first part, that is the talk, right before we do our spiritual treatment. So now let's invite our friend Rodrigo to come and join us. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, and how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
So far, so good.
It's going to be even better now, I bet you.
Yeah,
No pressure.
I hope everyone has compassion.
Of course. We're here, and of course, I'm sure. And thank you for preparing and for being here with us. So we start with thankful, but also, of course, let's start practicing compassion towards everybody since it's the topic of today.
Yeah.
So I'll be going. I'll let you do our initial prayer and lead us in this reflection, and I'll be back at the end.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm back. So, as usual, we will start with our opening prayer. And I'm going to invite you, if you wish, to close your eyes, elevate your thoughts, take a deep breath in and out. Feel the energy vibrating in your soul and picture the image of Jesus, the higher spirits surrounding us, blessing us in this great opportunity to talk about this virtue called compassion. Please, Master, help us to extract the information that we can use in our daily life with our family members, with our colleagues at work, with the interactions with other people, that we can be inspired by the teachings of our Master brought by Allan Kardec. Help us to reflect on those lessons that help us to improve, to become better people. Please, Master, spiritual friends, our spiritual protectors, bless us and help us to deliver the message according to your wish. Please stay with us today, tomorrow, and always. So be it. All right, so let's get started. So I'm gonna try to share my screen with you. Just give me 1 second. All right, I hope you can see my full screen at the moment. As Anna mentioned during her kind presentation, so the topic for today is from the chapter 13 from the Gospel according to Spiritism. Do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. And this topic is quite fascinating because it's about compassion. And this is not something easy, but we're gonna see what Kardec and the higher spirits brought to us. And this items 15 to 18 is interesting because the spirits are sharing some information about a compassion, but a compassion has a stronger relationship with the charity. And then the spirits start giving some example. This message, for example, is from the Spirit John in Bordeaux, 1961, and talk about a rich, fortunate wife that purchased clothes for the unfortunate. So this is a material charity, but also a show compassion. So then another example is a poor laborer who was nothing superfluous, give a few hours to make and sell fancy handcrafts to provide aid to brothers and sisters. As you see now, it's still charity, but slightly different than the previous one. And then talk about a woman devoted to God and transform the gold from her gifts into clothing and food for those in need. All those are types of material charity in a sense, and all those are strongly related to compassion. And the Spirit continues saying that all of you who can produce something, give. Give of your talents, give of your inspirations, give of your hearts, which God you bless. You have no less glory, and through your help there will be a little less suffering. So the biggest message here in that device is the power of give. However, sometimes we fall in this trap that we do not believe that we have something to give, because sometimes we judge that we don't have enough money. So sometimes we judge that we don't have enough to give. But as you see here, we can give so many things, right? So giving our talents, for example, are you good at something that can help others? You can inspire people by giving. So for volunteer, for example, and Canada is a great country relate to that, because a lot of people really devote their time volunteer for different uh, opportunities, which is great. And of course, material charity is important, that show compassion, but also we have to think about things that are less material. So, for example, our time. So, when you listen to someone, when you smile, when you hug someone, when you listen to someone actively, all those are also part of compassion. And if we do that, for sure, the spirits are saying to us that you have less suffering. So imagine when we are suffering, when we have someone that really can listen to us, donate their time, how that feel for us, so then we can retribute to others. So then the spirit, a protector spirit, share a story here that's an analogy on this two men and two bags. And the story tells that in their good deeds are being placed in a bag after they discarnated. So then after they die, this bags will be weighted. And then the spirits asks for the two men to recognize which bag belongs to whom. Then you have a rich man and that say, I know that bag is mine because I was rich and I gave a lot. And another, you have a small bag and was poor and I had almost nothing to share. So this is how we, on our human perspective, would weight those. So the rich man give away more, the poor man give much less, and then the rich man deserve more than poor man. However, the spirits call our attention here to say that in God justice, the math is doesn't work quite the same. So now I show you the, again the scale between the rich and the poor, what they said, but then we're gonna see how is this counted in God's justice. So the rich man, what happened was that God said, you have given much. And remember, this is a metaphor, it's an analogy. So for us to understand the power of compassion, the power of giving, the power of charity. So you have given much, it's true, but you gave to be ostentatious and to see your name displayed in all the temples of pride. While giving, you deprived yourself of nothing. So now you see behind this full bag that the rich gave a lot, there is intentions behind, and we cannot hide this from God and the high spirits. On the other hand, you have the poor that had almost nothing to share, and then God said to him, you gave very little, but each of on those coins on the scale represents a privation for you. You practice charity without thinking it would be taken into account. So, what the Spirit's message here is saying that the intention, how we do matters. And it's not about how much you give, is how much sacrifice you are facing. Not think about yourself, your pride, and your ego, but to really think about others. That's the true meaning of charity and compassion. And you know that charity and compassion are twin sisters. And the spirits continue, this protector spirit, you were indigent and did not judge your fellow beings. On the contrary, you offer excuse for all their actions. Go to their right and receive your recompense. So basically, what the Spirit's saying that when we give and we look for ostentation, we recognize we already receive our reward. And those that were not recognizing, they give for the good of their heart, for love, they will be recompensed in the spiritual world. One is an example that you're going to receive the recompense in your actual incarnation because you already receive everything that you invest on. And then the other one, you're going to really uh, harvest what was given later on. And the question becomes to us, for us to reflect. How is our bag? Is it full of good deeds? So which bag is ours? And that's important for us to reflect. So how much good deeds we are doing currently. If you are doing a lot, very good. So be careful with the intention. Always do with a pure intention, with love in your heart. That will be the true compassion. And if you're doing a little, so now is our opportunity that we have to listen to this talk and then start reflecting and act to make this little bag become that big bag. How we can do that, Rodrigo? Well, think about indulgence. Indulgence is charity. This protector spirit tells us, my dear friends, every day I hear you say to one another, I'm poor, I cannot practice charity. And every day I see you lacking indulgence toward your fellow beings. Is not indulgence also charity? See that the spirituality bring this concept of charity, and when I'm charity here is right hand to compassion. So they are saying that it's not only about material things. Indulgence is really, really important, and it's very heavy on weight to account for compassion. And the spirits say you do not forgive them for anything. And we turn ourselves into judges who are at times quite severe without asking ourselves if we would be happy if they act the same way toward us. So that's why indulgence is important. And that's when Kardec asked the spirits how Jesus understand charity. So indulgence is part. So it's benevolence, indulgence. So those are key. So that's why we should follow the master's footsteps in terms of how to be charitable, how to have compassion. So I'm sorry, I need to go forward. So then the spirits talk about we who can only practice charity by being indulgent. Let's say you have nothing, so you're very poor, you're facing challenges. So even though you can practice charity by being indulgent, do that at least, but do it extensively. So if you don't have a lot to give and you think that is stopping you to do that, as you see here, no, you can do it. So you can do this even if you're being indulgent, you're doing a lot and do this extensively, and that counts a lot. And then there is a device for us. And that device is having compassion because it's the virtue that brings you closer to the angel. It is the sister of charity which leads you to God. Celestial precursor of charity, the first of all virtues. It's quite interesting to see here how these higher spirits share how important compassion is. Think about the first of all virtues, right? Sister of charity, and bring us closer to angels and leads us to God. So, again, let's think about and how we're going to incorporate compassion in our lives. And the spirits continue. And why is compassion is key? Because if you think about only yourself, we are selfish. When we see someone in suffer, let's say we see someone experience homelessness, and you see it, that has an impact. Everyone feel impacted, which means when we have this contact with someone experiencing misfortune, our soul vibrates and experiences a natural and profound pain. But after that is really the feelings is about our choices. So then we have choices. We can try to help or you can ignore. So, but the feeling is there. We cannot shake it when you see someone experience difficult or when you see someone experience pain and suffering, which means the feeling is in there. We have the seed. However, what we're going to do with that feeling and how this is going to move us to act is a different story. So then we can have compassion and act, or we can ignore and move on, pretending that it didn't exist. So people has different ways to face those challenges. And for example, how many times we are seeing circumstances where pain suffer is happening and we prefer to not do anything because it make us feel uncomfortable. And how many times we walk on the street, see someone ask for help, sometimes money, sometimes clothing, sometimes food, and we pretend that the person doesn't exist. So we don't look at them, we don't talk to them. So it's all choices that we have to reflect because we need to think about that. Fortunately, we have shelter, we have food, many of us at least. So, but think about if you were on their shoes. How would you be like to be treated? So then something that we really need to reflect. So then why compassion is key? Because the most appropriate sentiment for enabling us to progress and overcome selfishness and pride. We know that most of our problems comes from these two vices, selfishness and pride. So in Allan Kardec in the Spirits says that selfishness and pride is really the cause, the root of all the problems that we face. And if you really deeply reflect, it's true. All the issues that we face, all the problems, we are always dealing with selfishness and pride. The one that predisposes our soul to humility, beneficence, and love for our neighbor. So this is compassion. Compassion has this power that can change us. Then we can be more humble We can be more modest. So we are more benevolent. We are more indulgent because we love. And when we say neighbor here, we're talking about our brothers and sisters. And and when you in the Spiritism, when you say brothers and sisters, we understand the whole humanity as our brothers and sisters. Compassion impels us to reach out to our brothers and sisters with a helping hand, which moves us to tears of sympathy. We help because we want to, because we feel good about it. And that's a great sentiment to have. This ability to help others and even sacrifice ourselves. Sometimes doing things to others, not doing to ourselves, which is really important. So, when out of kind sympathy, you manage to restore their hope and resignation, and what delight you feel. So imagine this, right? So if you have that experience before, when you really help someone and then you see their hope and they have this burst of happiness and they feel they can continue on, they really feel inspired by you. Is not that a great feeling to have? And the spirits say here that is Mitchell. Great will be the compensation when you manage to restore courage and hope to an unfortunate brother or sister who is moved by the contact of a friendly hand and whose eyes, moist with emotion and acknowledgement, turn to you kindly before gazing to heaven in thankfulness for having sent a consoler, a support. Now I want you to really reflect how many times we are, I call this human angels. Those people that show to your life and bring all this joy and hope with a friendly smile in the moments of pain and suffering. So we can be those that bring that friendly hand, that a smile, a hug, or a word of consolation. Compassion. Allow your heart to be moved with compassion before the miseries and sufferings of your fellow beings. Your tears are a balm on their wounds. So that's beautiful because that's the power of compassion. So we connected as humans in a deeper essence, our divine essence. And then we shift the gears slightly to talk about a orphan. And the spirit here, a familiar spirit, is providing us an example of a great compassion and charity. And he's mentioning this familiar spirit, his or her. So he's talking about orphans and said that my brothers and sisters love all orphans. And your question could be, wow, if God is so merciful, so love, so justice, all this, why orphans exist? And the spirits explain to us that God allows orphan children to be orphans in order to engage us to serve as their parents and practice his law. And what the law here is the law of love. What a divine charity is to help a poor abandoned child, to keep it from suffering, hunger, and cold, and to guide its soul so that it does not lose itself to vice. Imagine, in the eyes of God, how much this act of love and compassion compels everyone. What a great example. I personally admire everyone that really adopt a child and take good care of it, because this is a really honorable act of deepest love and compassion. And the spirits continue. Moreover, consider that many times the child you help may have been dear to you in another incarnation. And if he or she could remember you, it should no longer be charity, but an obligation. So interesting that this familiar spirit just shake the perspective here. Because when you think of only the present perspective, so you can say that is a huge act of compassion, and it is, don't get me wrong. However, if you think about the reincarnation, and if this is something that's planned to be, so now is no longer a compassion, it becomes an obligation, because in the plan, the spiritual plan, that you and this other spirit plan together, so it changed totally the way that we understand our relationships with other people in this specific situation, an adoption, for example. Someone that adopt an orphan, so they are spirits that may have a connection from previous experiences. And this is good to set a different perspective in our mind. And then the spirit continue, thus, my friend, every sufferer is your brother or sister, and has a right to your charity, but not the charity that wounds the heart, or the alms that burn the hand, for your alms are frequently quite bitter. So give dedicatedly. Add to your beneficent act the most precious of all acts, a good word, a pat, a friendly smile. Remember that in doing good, you are working for yourself and your loved ones. Basically, here, this the familiar spirit bring us the idea of universal family. Because if everyone is our brothers and sister, now we need to help them. Imagine just in your inner circle, your close family that we have. So most of the time, we want them to be happy. We want them to have a good life. So they be happy, have less suffering. So we want to support them. So, but the Spirit's saying that we should do that because everyone is our brothers and sisters. And how to give, which is also important, because if you humiliate someone when you give, or you make them feel they're inferior to you, so then this is not the best approach. So we should give without promote any feelings from the other side of sentiments they are inferior to us, or that you know we should help them because we love them. We do because we want to, not because we have to. And then compassion deeply felt is love. Love is devotion. Devotion is forgetting oneself. This forgetfulness, this self denial on behalf of unfortunates, is the key of virtue that the divine Messiah practiced throughout his life and taught in his holy and sublime teachings. This is what Jesus taught us. And if we do that, remember, compassion, you bring happiness to the earth, enabling harmony, peace, love to finally reign. Then earth, you'll be transformed. Therefore, Dear brothers and sisters, I end my talk inviting you to fulfill your bags with good deeds, with a lot of compassion and love in our hearts. Thank you for listening to me tonight, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. Anna, your microphone.
I don't know how many years will take me to not mess up the mute button.
As many years gonna take me.
It's like we think we got it, the mute button and the unmute button, but sometimes that's the most difficult part. Um, I was saying thank you so much. It was a great reflection, and I was just thinking because last week I was talking about family, and you mentioned, I really like the last part saying that compassion, right? What we do to others, it's not really for us. We're doing that for it's not for them, it's for ourselves, right? And for our loved ones too. And you mentioned the universal family, that it's really right. The goal is to expand this love, beyond our family and everything. So, um, and I was just really thinking, it's like it's give, but it's also the way you give it, right? Like you mentioned, without ostentation, without, just give for giving, just for doing something good for others. I am trying to look here and see if we have any questions. I don't see any right now, but let me ask you one question. So, as you prepared for this, what was the most important part of this, or the one part that called more attention to you, that was more dear to your heart, that spoke louder as you were studying, this sections of the chapter 13? So we're at items
So
15 to 18.
yes, so there are two parts. One is to make us understand how God's justice work. So the example of the two men with two bags.
Mm-hmm.
So because sometimes what we see that we think will be that way when you go to the spiritual world, so then they know exactly everything, so then you cannot escape from that, and the scale shifts.
Right,
So who give less technically give more. So
right.
and Jesus has a parable about that as well for the old lady that give
Yeah,
all the king comes and give
yeah.
a lot of treasures, and
Yes,
there's
yes.
one
The
old
offer
lady
of
that give
the
one,
widow. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
and yeah, the parable of the widow. So and give you just a coin, I think was a denarii, and
Yeah.
then another part was the orphans. So because there are two things in there. One, when you think about, is a very strong act of love. So when you adopt someone, is basically you're kind of broaden your love to someone that's not from what we're used to be more accustomed by. That's like blood ties. So it's
Mm-hmm.
someone that's not from your, let's say, genetic family.
Mm-hmm.
However, when you see the spiritual world and when you think about incarnation, reincarnation, so there's a big possibility that this was a plan that was established among spirits. And then you shift the way, the perspective. So you still have compassion. However, it's sometimes it's not a compassion only, it's your obligation because you're really making the commitment with that spirit to continue. So I think to me those are the topics that drag my attention the most because it shifts the perspective. So we
Right.
are looking more on a spiritual perspective other than our more a materialistic perspective.
Very good. Thank you so much, Rodrigo. We'll see
Welcome,
you
my
later.
pleasure. See you. Bye.
Bye. All right, my friends. So now, thank you, everybody, for participating, and thank you so much, Rodrigo, for leading us in this very important and very timely reflection. So now we go to our spiritual care. And in this part, we have pass and we have the magnetization of the water. So, pass is the transfusion of a spiritual energy that can assist our physical, emotional, and mental balance. So, if today is your first time participating with us, we do what we call a guided pass. So you don't need to worry about what to think and what to do. Just relax, close your eyes, and follow the guided audio instructions. Or if you prefer, you can just remain in prayer. Um, if you close your eyes, that might help you with your concentration. But do whatever is comfortable for you. And remember the water that you set aside in the beginning of our meeting. This water now will receive healing energy for our body and our soul, and not just us. If you have a big enough container, we can divide that and you can share that with your family members. So now I'm going to do our prayer right before the passes, and that's going to be our final prayer for tonight. So I invite you all to close your eyes, to join heart to heart, mind to mind in this prayer, elevating our thoughts and our thank you for God, for our lives, for all life forms around us, thanking our brother Jesus for all his teachings, for always inspiring us to do a little bit better, for always reminding us in his teachings that there's more to life than just this material life right here, that we are spiritual beings, that we were created for nobility, for greatness, for the best virtues to be developed in ourselves. And thank you, Jesus, today too, for the message of compassion. May today in our lives, maybe family life, our work life, our day-to-day life, may we be able to use compassion towards ourselves, compassion towards our family members, our co-workers, the people that come into our lives and into our environment. May we be able to expand this love and this compassion beyond our bloody ties, our genetic ties, and may this love and this compassion that Jesus so much invite us to practice, may this compassion spread everywhere on this earth, wherever it's needed. May Jesus bless our homes, our places of work. May we be able to carry the Christian faith, the courage of Christians, and the happiness of Christians, of true Christians, everywhere we go. May God bless each and every one of the people that have their names in our vibration or our prayer book. May they be assisted in whatever is that it's their biggest challenge right now. And may we have a good night and be here together in Jesus' names many, many, many more times. And so be it.
Let's get ready for the pass and water fluidification. Please get a container with clean water to be fluidified. Brothers and sisters, it does not matter where you are, what type of hardships you are going through. Jesus is always ready to come and help us. Place yourself in a comfortable position which can make it easy for you to reach concentration and receptiveness. Breathe slowly and easily. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Fill up your lungs with air and let it out very slowly. Let tranquility and peace energies penetrate your lungs and move throughout your body. Your soul in harmony with your body feels easy and in peace. Let's imagine Jesus' passage. A clear day, the sun's golden rays illuminate the happy passage in Capernaum. A lot of white houses, multicolored vines, and hopping birds fill the landscape with optimism. The news about cures attracted the crowd in need. Suddenly, Jesus appears slim and handsome. His tunic was hanging down to his feet. At sunset, all those with sick people hit by several illnesses would bring them, and as he placed his hands over each one, he would heal them. This is what Luke the evangelist says. Let's imagine Jesus approaching you. He holds his friendly hands over our head. Notice that from his generous hands, a waterfall with clear and pure water originated from his love come to bathe you. It flows on your head, goes down your shoulders, bathe all your being, and brings you peace, serenity, and balance. They remove all impurities and pacify you. Feel the water bathing you, cleaning. Breathe. Now, imagine Jesus as a sun before you. His light, his warmth surrounds you. Feel the healing energy that comes from Jesus towards you. He hears your prayers. Trust him. His love is endless and it follows you and protects you. It provides you with everything you need. Have faith. Absorb the healing energy from Jesus. His light surrounds you. Feel the energy going through all your body. Feel stronger and in peace. Lord Jesus, our divine friend, reach out your generous hands, Lord, and change this water into medicine for our physical and spiritual illnesses. Protect us, Jesus, with your peace. Spread those vibrations of love throughout my home, Lord. May peace, health, and tranquility reign here. We are very grateful to you, Jesus. Stay with us today and forever. Thank God. Please remember to use the fluidified water.
Friends, it's with the sweet vibrations of the passes that we bid you good night. From the bottom of all of our hearts here at Spiritism Canada, we say, may God bless you and God bless your family. And we hope to see you next week. So continue to follow us at Spiritism Canada on Facebook and YouTube, and at the Spiritist group Path of Light on Instagram. We'll see you next week. May God bless you. Bye bye.
Do, 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 do. sky, where peace prevails. That's what I dream for you and me. Moved by the light of love, no longer dimmed by who we were. We'll rise into what we are meant to be, among flowers shining with the glow of supernovas. Tokens of that endless love God feels for us. That's what I dream. I dream a new day is going to dawn, the rising of a different world, where eyes who seek out chances to do good, a world of peace and brotherhood awaits the change that we can make. And changing our hearts is the first step we must take. A world where we will be as free as any bird flying in the sky, where peace prevails. That's what I dream for you and me. Moved by the light of love, no longer dimmed by who we were. We'll rise into what we are meant to be, among flowers shining with the glow of supernovas. Tokens of that endless love God feels for us. That's what I dream. I dream a new day is going to dawn, the rising of a different world, where eyes will seek out chances to do good, a world of peace and brotherhood awaits the change that we can make. And changing our hearts is the first step we must take. Do